Paper cups, the secret. How much power can you handle? I want to talk about this word. It's been on my mind all afternoon. Capacity. Capacity. The ability to store energy. When we talk about electronics, we talk about a battery's capacity. It's how much charge can that battery hold. When we're talking about semen retention, we're really missing 80% of the iceberg when we just talk about semen retention. When we look under the surface, take a look under the water, we'll see that the vast majority of the iceberg, the benefits, are beneath the surface. I've been practicing God mode for over 70 days now. For the first time since I started having sexual thoughts and fantasies, since I was a young teen. And what I'm realizing is that semen retention's cool, celibacy's cool, but the real name of the game is in God mode. Because in God mode, we're not just purifying our actions. We're not just ceasing the action of ejaculation. In God mode, we're actually transmuting, sublimating, as the yogis say, all of the sexual impulses from the deepest level. So now we're not having any, or we're not indulging in any sexual thoughts. We're not engaging in sexually impure speech. And of course, we're not indulging in the physical act of the sexual act, in whatever form that may be. Now, what I'm finding is that my energy levels are not just increasing, they're also clarifying. It's like I have more energy, but I'm also calmer, and my mind is also clearer. What this really means is that the energy is rising up my spine, up my sushumna, the central nadi, the central energy pathway, up the spine, which transmits the energy up into the higher centers. That's getting wild now. And it's like everything's becoming clear. Everything's becoming as it should be. And I'm able to let go more. I'm able to be more. And I'm able to start seeing divinity playing out in my life. This is the power of God mode. Now, you might be wondering, can I actually handle true self-knowledge? And this is the thing that scares most men away. This is what scared me away from really getting into these practices, because I wasn't sure if I could handle it. There's that quote that says, we're not afraid of our inadequacy, but we're afraid that we are powerful beyond measure. And I'm beginning to see how that's been the case. Why I haven't allowed myself to build this energy up until now. Because it comes with a high level of responsibility. And when we're not practicing holistically, when we're just doing it for the benefits, when we're just doing it so that we can get more girls, so that we can get more energy, more motivation, we're not really seeing the full benefit. We're just scratching the surface. But when we start to allow the practice to take over, when we fully commit to the practice, when we fully commit to ourselves, we're going to be confronted with this question: do I actually trust myself? Because when you start to get high levels of energy, influence, the ability to sway people's minds, there's a part of you that really wants to know, am I going to abuse this? Am I going to use this for egotistic gain? Is lust going to re-emerge? Let's say I've been practicing for 6 months or 12 months. Hope you're not overheating there. And you're at a level now where when you walk into a room, everyone pays attention. Can you actually trust yourself not to abuse that, not to create another personal hell for yourself, not to get addicted to the power, and not starting to use the power to indulge your lust? How much power can you handle? This is the question. So this is why, if you practice this fully, you're not just doing it for benefits. You're not just doing it so that as you get more power, you can start to use the power for selfish gain. When you commit to God mode, you're now committing to use this power for the highest purpose. That's the difference. You're setting the clear intention that as you gain greater capacity, as your body, mind, soul, spirit complex gains more capacitance, the ability to store and circulate more energy, you become like a generator, like a thermonuclear reactor. You become like a sun, and you start exerting gravity on everything that you go near. Are you ready for that? This is the question to ask yourself. Do you trust yourself? But I feel like if you're watching this video up until this point, you're you're ready to trust yourself. You've proven to yourself that no matter what happens, you always realign yourself to the highest purpose. Because you've been down the path so many times of trying to sway things in your own egotistical way, but it always winds you up in shit. So you're ready to surrender. Now, if you're ready to surrender, I want to share with you some tools which I'm finding extremely useful in this journey of God mode to allow me to stay silky, to stay supple, to stay flexible, to stay nimble, to stay aware and alert to the ego's tricks, and to keep myself rising in power and energy, not just thinking that I'm rising in power and energy. Self-deception plays a big part here too. But if you're ready for that, if you're really feeling the call to go God mode, here's some practices that are going to help you immensely. Number one is start getting up at 4 a.m. Start getting up before that last cycle of REM sleep where your testosterone levels elevate to their highest in the morning and you start to get those sexual dreams, which can happen. Start to get up instead at 4 a.m. when your mind is in a very deep theta state and you can be with God before there's any sound, before anyone else is awake. And you start off by sitting up in bed, sitting on a comfortable seat, and practicing a few minutes of breath work. 10, 20. Visualizing that energy circulating up your spine, out the top of your head, down back again, and around and around. This will immediately remove the grogginess of sleep and get your mind into a very focused, present, clarified state. Number two, practice those cold showers. After your breath work, jump in the shower, stay in there for a couple of minutes until your body's fully adjusted, and you're going to get all of that deep blood flow happening, that hormetic effect. Your brain is going to be kicked into a optimized state. It's going to be fully oxygenated and it's going to be receiving fresh blood flow. Very powerful. Number three, nail your exercise practice. If you're lifting, I wouldn't suggest lifting heavy more than 3 to 4 times per week. Remember, this is a huge load on your musculoskeletal and your nervous system, your neuromuscular system. Now, keep in mind that when we're going God mode, we're raising the Shakti. We're raising the Kundalini. We're raising and circulating and amplifying the prana. And this is electrical energy. This is what it means to increase your capacity. You are increasing the flow of electrical energy in your body on a very deep level. So you don't want to be overloading your nervous system with too much lifting if you're not balancing it with other lighter, more flow-based practices like Qigong, yoga, Tai Chi, just free movement, experimenting with free movement, getting into new movement patterns, breaking those rigid forms and structures that you've conditioned yourself into. Number 4 is you're going to want to start intermittent fasting. This is going to clarify your mind very, very nicely. It's going to get your body into a rhythm of rest and digest for 16 hours per day. And you're just eating in an 8-hour window, let's say from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. from 4 p.m. till 8 a.m. the next morning. No food. Don't indulge in, drinks other than water. Just keep it really simple. This is going to be cleansing your energy field, allowing you to heal, allowing you to purge, instead of carrying that daily energy as a surplus load over into the next day, which you're now having to deal with in the form of sluggishness, fatigue, brain fog. The 16-8 intermittent fasting schedule will really amplify this practice of God mode for you. And then number 5 is you want to be finding and channeling into a creative outlet. For me, that's videos. It's also carpentry. If you see some of the other videos on my channel, which I encourage you to subscribe to, please like this video. You'll see that I like to build stuff. I like to create. It gets me into a flow state. Allows me to channel this very powerful sexual energy which I'm increasing into a tangible result. Very important as a man that you're channeling the creative energy. But what you'll find is, as you just drop these lower vibration habits of watching series, staring at screens, staying inside all the time, socializing with people who are lowering your vibration, chasing women, as you start to drop these time and energy vampires, as you stop blowing your load and entertaining sexual fantasies, as you quit the mental edging, looking for female attention, validation, your energy levels are going to get so high that you have to channel them. So you don't really have to go looking for this. This is the power of God mode. What you're meant to be doing is going to find you. But can you handle that power? Can you trust yourself? This is the question. So this isn't really meant to be a diagnostic video, more just a reflective one to get you looking at this, to stir your motivation to start this. I'm just finding that I have to make these videos now. It's just like the energy's telling me to. Make the commitment. Go 90 days, brahmacharya, pure mode, God mode. Watch what starts to happen.